So negative numbers are just numbers that are below 0, like -1, -2, -3, -4, and like so on. So normally negative numbers is like used in temperature. There's others, but if it's like temperature and the temperature is like -6 degrees and it falls by another -6 degrees Celsius, so it can be written as -6 degrees Celsius minus another -6 degrees Celsius, then you get a -12 degrees Celsius. And it also can rise like -8 degrees Celsius, and it rises by 3 degrees Celsius. Then it can be written as -8 degrees Celsius plus another 3 degrees Celsius. Then you get a -5 degrees Celsius. Yeah, basically this is it. So next is the directed number. And then first, if this is the question, +7 plus another -6. So positive and negative, you get the negative. So it can be written as +7 minus 6. Then you can solve this, then you get 1. And then -9 minus +11. Minus and plus, which is negative and positive, you get negative. So it's -9 minus 11, you get -20. And then next we have multiplication, which is -6 times +4. So negative and positive will get a negative answer. So -6 times 4 will get 24. Next is divide. So -20 divided by +4. So negative divided by positive will get a negative. Then 20 divided by 4 we get 5. So it's -5. So for formula, we just have to know how to substitute in numbers into a formula. Like A is acceleration. This is a formula for acceleration. And to substitute, we will have to write A equals to V is 20, so we write 20 square minus U. U is 9, so 9 square over 2. S is 2.5, so 2.5. Then we get 400 minus 81 over 5. Then we just have to solve this part, which will get 319 over 5, and the answer, which is 63.8. Yeah, so that's it for formula. Next is bracket and simplifying. So this is the bracket. So if you see question like this, you have to start with 4 times x. So 4 to x, 4x. And then 4 have to times -2y. So positive and negative, right? So you get negative. 4 times 2, 8y. Then next, the question is 2 brackets. So x will have to times x. Then you get x squared. Then x will times 3 plus 3x. Then 2 will times x plus 2x. 2 will have to times 3 plus 6. So like this, x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. So simplifying is when you add like those numbers that you can add together. You want to simplify this thing, so x squared, 3x can plus 2x, so you get plus 5x, and then plus 6. Next question is when there is 3 brackets. So we have to solve the first 2 brackets first. So x2 times x is normal. Then we'll get x squared plus 2x, right? X times x. And then 1 times x is 1x. 2 times 1, you get 2. And then bracket. We still have the x plus 3, right? So here still have to write x plus 3. Then we'll get, we have to simplify this, 2x plus 1x, which is x squared plus 3x plus 2 bracket x plus 3 equals to, we simplify this thing, we get x cubed plus x cubed. Then x will have to times 3x again. Then we get 3x squared plus x times 2, 2x. Then 3 will have to times x squared. So we'll get 3x squared plus 3 times 3, which is 6x. And then plus the last one, which is 6. Then we'll get the final answer, which is x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x, and then plus 6.
Okay, hi guys, so today we're going to learn about linear equations. So first of all, let's proceed to the example 1. So what we got, example 1 is negative 3x, and we need to find x, which what we can get rid of this negative 3x by adding positive 3x at both sides. This is because we need to keep it equal. As you guys can see, there's an equal sign over here. And so negative 3x plus 3x equals to 9, equals to 0, which left 9 here. And then 3 plus 3x, 3 plus 3x. 6 equals to 3x, x equals to 2. Okay, so this is how we get our answer. As you guys are wondering why is 6, is because I shift the 3 over there, which when I shift over the equation, negative become positive. Positive become negative. Okay, so let's shift to this example 2, which there is 3x at both sides, as the x and both x terms. So what we can do is we group them together, which all the no x terms go here, and then the x terms go here, and we add them together, 7x and 17. X equals to 17 divided by 7, which I shift the 7 over there, which become divide. It's because there's multiplying here. Okay, example 3. 5x when x is a fraction. What can we do is we multiply both sides of the 3, which 3 to get rid of this 3, which multiplies 3 and 5x divided by 3, and then multiply 10 by 3. So 5x equals to 30 and x equals to 6. Okay, so let's proceed to example 4. Example 4, which is we need to find the sum of 3 consecutive numbers. Whole number is 96, and we need to find its numbers. So first of all, we let the 3 consecutive number become an x term. 96 consecutive, which is continuing. So look at here. The first number equals to x, and the second number equals to x plus 1. Third number equals to x plus 2 is because it's consecutive, so we keep adding 1 to the next one. So what can we do is we add them all together as the sum of them equals to 96. So what can we do is we add them all together. This is form an equation, and we do everything which x equals to 31. But we don't stop here, we still need to find the terms for it. So second number, x plus 1. Third number, you just x plus 31, which equals to 33. Equals to 33. So as we have found the three numbers, which is 31, 32, and 33. Yep, please write the equation out. Okay, so let us proceed to the last question, which is example 5. As you guys can see, this is the length of a rectangle. It's 2 times the width. Perimeter is 36, and they want the width. So let's draw a rectangle. Let's draw a rectangle. There's a rectangle over here. So this side equals to x. This one equals to L. Let L become the length. Width become x. Length become 2x. It's because the length of the rectangle is 2 times the width, 2x. So we got the clue here is perimeter is 36. So we need to times 2 as because there's 4 sides. 2 equals 36. So we add them together, which x equals to 6. And we add the width, which width equals to x. So width equals to 6 c equals to 6 cm. Okay, so the lesson here is done. Thank you everyone.
So now I'll be teaching you guys about simultaneous equations. So basically in a simultaneous equation, we would have two equations and we need to find a solution for the unknown. So in this case, we have x and y. And then there are two methods to find the solutions for the two unknowns, or the unknown. Actually two unknowns, just the substitution method and the elimination method. So now I'm going to teach you about the substitution method. So we label the two equations. We get one of the equation, make x the subject or the main focus of the equation. So we get this, label this new equation, quote unquote new equation. Then we substitute this equation into any of these equations, and then we can find the solution for y. Then using the solution that we found, we sub it into any of the equations, and then we can find out what the other unknown's solution is. So we've got y equals 1 and x equals 2. Moving on to the elimination method, we still have two equations because this is simultaneous equation. Simultaneous means at the same time. So we have two equations at the same time whose unknowns are same. Yes. So we label the two equations. Then we can multiply or probably divide, but I would say multiply the equation. So we take equation 1, multiply so that the coefficient and the unknowns would be the same, so we can eliminate it. So we multiply equation 1 by 2, and then we label it as equation 3. So we take equation 3 minus equation 2, so we eliminate the unknown. So 4x minus 4x, that's 0. 10y minus 3y, that's 7y. 48 minus 20, that's 28. 28 divided by 7, that's y equals 4. Then we take this solution for y, or the unknown, we sub it to one of the equations, and then we solve the equation, blah blah blah, and we get the solution for x, and those are your answers. Moving on how we can apply these two methods, substitution and elimination method, into solving simultaneous equation questions. So I have a very nice highlight and a very painful to look at highlight. So 30 tickets were sold for a concert, some at 60 cents and the rest at $1, at $8. if the total race was $22, how many had the cheaper tickets? So 30, 60 cents, $1, $22, and this is the cheaper tickets. So we make the two equations because yes, the people buying it, there are two types of tickets, so there are two types of people buying the tickets, the cheap one and the expensive type. So we've got the cheap one and the expensive type, which equals 30 tickets, then the 60 cents, which is $6.6 for the cheap one, and the $1 for the expensive one, so that it equals to $22. Label these two equations. Turns out we can just eliminate the unknowns y. So take equation 1. No, this is the substitution method, I'm so sorry. So we take equation 1 and make x the subject or main focus of the equation. Label this new equation as 3, and we substitute 3 into 2. So they solve it, then we find the solution, which is y equals 10. Substitute y equals 10, or we say sub, sounds cooler, sub y equals 10 into equation 1, and then we get this, solve it, and then we find the people who bought the cheaper tickets is 20, because x is the cheaper ones. Now moving on to the elimination method, which is way shorter. So we label the two equations, same thing, same equations, yes. Okay, then we take equation 1 minus equation 2. So we eliminate the y's, eliminate the y's, and then we're left with x minus 0.6x, that's 0.4x, equals to 30 minus 22, that's 8x. Then x, the solution is 20, so it will be the same, but I shall prove it to you that it's the same, and that y can equal to 10 and x is equals to 20. So x equals 20, sub it into equation 1, x 20 plus y equals 30, bring this 20 over, y equals 10. That's your solution for y, but it says the cheaper tickets, so 20 people bought the cheaper tickets. That is all for simultaneous equations. We'll go on to the next subtopic.
Previously we have done expansion. Now we are going to teach you about the inverse of expansion, which is factorization. So in order to factorize, we'll need to take out the common factor. So for example, 4x plus 4y, their common factor is 4 and is 4. So you can take 4 out and put x and y in one bracket. Let's see our example 2. So we can see that AH and AK have a common factor of A, and BH and BK have a common factor of B. So we can group them up. And also we need to do this new group, A and B in one bracket and H and K in one bracket. So we'll go to quadratic expression. There's two methods to get a quadratic expression, and our first method is butterfly method. We'll label x squared as A, 7x as B, and 12 as C. So A will always be here, C will always be here, and B will always be here. So in order to get x squared, we need to multiply x and x. In order to get 12, we can multiply 3 and 4. So there's a rule here in butterfly method. Is here in this column we multiply, and in this column we add. So in order to go to add, we need to multiply diagonally, which is 3 times x equals to 3x, 4 times x equals to 4x. So add here is 3x plus 4x, so we get 7x. So if all the answers are same as the expression, then we can prove that it's correct. So our second method is factorize separately. First, we need to ignore b first. We will group 2x squared and 3 together. In order to get 2x squared, we can multiply 2x and x. In order to get 3, we'll multiply 3 and 1. They are both positive, so we'll put positive. If you want to check, you can do expansion. So they are the same. We can prove that this is correct. So we'll go into the difference of two squares. Our example is x squared minus y squared. So x squared minus y squared equals to x minus y and x plus y, but not equals to x minus y squared. Because see this expression, it will be expanded to this and soon this. So you can see that this is not same as this expression. But when it comes to this one, when you expand, it will become which is x squared minus y squared. So this expression is same as this one. So we can prove that this is correct, but this is not. But the reason why one is negative and one is positive is that if we put both negative, we'll get positive, and if we put one negative and one positive, we'll get negative, which is what we want. So we'll go to solution by factorization. Same as just now, we will ignore b first. And in order to get x squared, we'll need to multiply x and x. In order to get 12, we'll need to multiply 4 and 3. But in this case, we have negative in front of 12, so one of 4 and 3 need to be negative. If you want to prove if this is correct, you can expand it. Which is the same as this equation. So we can prove that this is correct. And there's one extra thing we need to do to get the solution, which is x plus 4 equals to 0 and x equals to negative 4. X minus 3 equals to 0 and x equals to 3. is basically what we have in the bracket. So this will be our 2 solution by factorization. So we'll go into solution by formula. Okay, in order to solve our quadratic equation with formula, we need to change our equation into the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So you can see that this is already the same. In this case, a equals to 2, b equals to -3, and c equals to -4. So we can sub this into our equation. Negative b. Our b is already negative, so negative equals to positive. So it's positive 3. And -3 squared minus 4, 2, -4, the square root, and 2a. That's our a. 2. So here we can solve 2, 3 plus minus 9 minus 32 and 4, which is 3 plus minus 41 divided by 4. So with this, we have 2 solution, which is 3 plus square root of 41 divided by 4, or 3 minus 41 by 4. So this will be 2.35 and -0.85. So this is our solution by quadratic formula. So we'll go into solution by completing the square. This is the formula of completing the square, so we'll follow it. In this case, our b is -6 and our c is 7. So we'll apply into the formula. So we need to simplify it. So we will bring 2 to here so that we can have 2 solutions. Plus minus square root of 2. Until here, we'll have x equals to 3 plus square root of 2, or x equals to 3 minus square root of 2, which is 4.41 and 1.459. So this is our solution with completing the square. So now we will look at the problem solved by quadratic equation. This is one of the example. The area of rectangle assists the area of square by 24 meters square. Find x. So from here we can know that area of rectangle is equals to x minus 3 times x minus 6. And area of square is equals to x minus 7 times x minus 7. Also is x minus 7 square. So from here we know that the area of rectangle is 24 meters more than the area of square. So now you can get this equation and solve this equation to find x. So x is equals to 11 cm. Now let's look at the nonlinear simultaneous equation. Over here we have two different equations, and from here we can know that the two equations are both equals to y. So we also can say that the first equation is equals to the second equation. And now we need to move this side to another side to make this side become 0. Simplify this. And now you factorize this equation to find x. So we can get that x is either equal to 8 or equals to 6. And now we can find the y value. If x is equal to 8, then we can substitute this into the equation 2. So if the x is equal to 8, the y will equal to 4. Then on the other hand, if x is equal to 6, then the y will equals to 8. So in conclusion, x is equals to 8, then the y will become 4. If x is equal to 6, then the y will equals to 8.